Checkity check 1 2 1 2. Hello everyone and welcome to Red Shirt Techs. This is a WSDBA workshop on water presentation and we are going to go over some technology safety. So this is my first stream. I want to make sure the chat is working. I see we've got 4 viewers right now, which is fantastic. Can we just get somebody to type something in the comments to make sure I can get your responses? Fantastic. So I got Lauren here with us. Lauren, can you hear me? Fantastic. All right, so there is a bit of a delay here, so I think it's about 10 seconds. So I'm going to move along with the presentation. This does have a DVR feature so that anyone who joins in after the fact can rewind to see things I have missed, and it can always come back to our live section. And this video will be recorded so that you guys can always come back to this and review stuff at a later time. Feel free to ask any questions you would like in the live chat. If they pop up and I see them, I'll go ahead and answer them. There will be a spot for questions at the very end of this presentation. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. So, technology safety. Who does this George guy think he is anyway? Well, and I don't know how to use animations. Fantastic. I've been in IT for 10 years. Ever since high school. My high school teacher kicked me out of his classroom right into the working world, into a computer repair shop. I was born and raised in Southern Nevada. I say Southern Nevada and not Henderson or Las Vegas because I actually, at a very young age, was living in Pahrump, which is about an hour outside of town. I've been in IT for nearly all of my life, working with Cox Internet, working with cable companies such as R2W, working at computer repair shops at Simple Computer Repair, and data centers at Via West and Mac Stadium. I've installed cable, installed internet services over in Pahrump, and I was the lead tech at an MSP called Computer Masters not too long ago. There was a dark summer. I was a fry cook, very young. I have been with my lovely wife since high school, and we have been married now for 3 years, and we have a beautiful 16-month-old daughter named Mackenzie. So this is all for her. So the goals for this presentation. First of all, I want to introduce myself to the community. I want to become a bigger role in the Henderson small business culture because I have noticed that small businesses tend to leave IT on the wayside. They tend to not focus so much on the technology that can drive their businesses forward. I want to be that bridge to help people understand what technology can do for them. We're going to go over some simple things like password safeties. I have seen way too many passwords that are super simple and can be broken very easily. So we're going to go over some basic rules for password safeties. What are backups? What does the cloud mean? Is the cloud outside? Is the cloud really fluffy? We're going to go over what those terms mean and what they mean to you and how you can utilize them. We're going to go over Wi-Fi network and security. You are actually not seeing any of this. I am all over it. Stand by. Ha! See, and you guys never even got to see. Boom. You guys never even got to see my baby girl. See, I'm already messing the stream up and it has only been 5 minutes. This is going to be a fun time. So, the goals for this presentation: introduce myself to the community. I've said this. Password safety. I've said this. The cloud stuff. We've said this. We're going to go over Wi-Fi and network security, the pros to cons to Wi-Fi, why my Wi-Fi may not be working, and what you can do to mitigate those kind of risks. Network security. So we don't really want rogue people on your network. We don't want people stealing your information. We don't want guests running, being on the same network as your POS, and we'll go into why that is. We'll go into antivirus programs and how they are good and both bad, and what you can do to pick one for yourself. And phone security. We have these very expensive devices just sitting in our pockets every day, and a lot of people don't utilize a lot of the features on them. How IT can add value to your business. We are living in the year 2020. It's the future. We may not have flying cars, but we have tricked rocks into thinking for us with silicone. So we can utilize this stuff to better grow your business and keep it working for you. And then at the very end, we're going to go over some questions. So, why did I create Redshirt Techs? I have a genuine passion for this technology. I am a genuine nerd. I've been doing this stuff. My mother has been always mad at me since I was a little boy because I would have cables ran all over the house, and me and my friends would always have all of our computers busted apart and torn apart and put back together because we had nothing better to do. And people asked me, George, where'd you get your education? I told them I would break my mom's stuff and I would have to fix it before she found out. So it's a genuine curiosity about how technology can help improve our lives. I feel that IT is just as important. It's like another utility. It's just as important as your power. It's just as important as your internet. It's just as important as your water. Because without it, companies can't move forward. I'm sure you guys have been to those mechanic shops that still have the carbon paper where they hand you a physical receipt and they don't take credit cards, or those kind of things where they don't have technology working for them to ease the burden of the day-to-day tasks so they can be more focused on their job. So that's what I'm here to do, is to help them move into a transition that takes a lot of that guesswork out for them. I love facing new challenges every day. It's one of the reasons why I started my own MSP, my own managed service providing business, and I'm not in some call center, because I love having a new challenge every day. Every day is different. Everything I do is it's new, exciting. You guys always find new ways to break things, and I get to find new ways to fix them. And I truly believe that anything is possible with IT. I always tell people I may not know the answer, but I know where to find it. I always tell my clients, my customers, to just tell me what your end goal is. What do you want to happen? And I will find a way to make that happen, because I have complete trust and faith in technology that we can make anything possible. It may not be me doing it, it may not be pretty, but we can make it happen. You can see from the lack of animations or the lack of design on my websites that I am not a design guy. I am a make it work guy. So we're gonna make things happen. We'll find somebody to make it pretty for us. So let's move on to the first slide, passwords. Oh, and I moved things over a bit. Boom. So we're going to go over what makes a secure password. Passwords are important. Now, rule 2 for passwords. Passwords are important. I cannot stress this enough. I have seen people who have just horrible passwords. We're going to fix that now. The 4 key features to a secure password is more than 8 characters. There are programs out there that will, just like if you had a combination padlock with 4 dials on it, and you just 1 0 0 0, 2 0 0 0, 3 0 0 0, and you just, it's called brute forcing, and they just keep hitting that password over and over again. This is why you want to have more than 8 characters, because the more characters you have, the more time those machines take to run, and your password becomes less brute forceable. You want to mix it up. Have both capital letters and lowercase letters. You want to have numbers and special characters. There's you have an entire number on your keyboard, and they all have special characters on top. Those are your special characters. We want to mix those in with the passwords as well. And you never want to give your password out or have it written in a document. I have seen so many Excel files sitting on desktops, and if you have one now, hide it before I find it, because I will yell at you for it. So many Excel documents with all your passwords on them. They're not locked, they're not secured, they're just sitting on your desktop. I've seen people, every time I ask them, hey, can you type in your password to get into this website, and they break out this little notebook, the address book, full of all their information. I go, that is super insecure. I know passwords are very important, but they're hard to remember. We're going to go over to some tips and tricks on how to remember these passwords. So we're going to keep your password safe. It's going to be easy to remember, hard to guess. Longer passwords are more secure than complex ones. Dogs are good boys is going to take 120 millennia to crack. If you notice, it's all lowercase. It's all it's all lowercase, no letters, no special numbers. And SuperPass, which may seem like a super strong password, is only going to take 8 centuries if you were going to put it through one of these programs. The length of the passwords are very important. Length is better than complexity. So we're going to keep away from special dates, such as birthdays, anniversaries. This kind of stuff is very easy to guess. It's very easy to socially engineer out of the customer in order to take a whack at so many passwords that they have. Names and places. So I know we all have that. Our password's all of our first child. I've seen Michael 1998. Well, if I know you have a son named Michael and I know he was born in 1998, I may guess this password and get in. We don't want that to happen. Phrases are fantastic. They're super easy to remember. Phrases are easy to remember because they can pertain to what you're doing. For example, real estate 19. Let's say you got into real estate in the year 2019. Well, now if you know your password is real estate 19, we can start replacing characters with other special characters. And if they look similar, replace them. This will help you remember, saying, I know I have a special character. S seems like something that I would replace with a money sign, and just replace that there. And it will soon become second nature to you. And that's how we remember our passwords. It's how to make a complicated password easily to remember. One of the things I write down a lot for my non-secure stuff, if I just need to get a quick password out, is, do you know the Muffin Man? It's quick, it's simple, I can type it out really easily, and no one's ever going to brute force that. Password keepers are still a very good option for a lot of people. So password keepers are like LastPass, Dashlane, Chrome and Safari have built-in ones. These are also great for remembering your passwords. I can tell you right now, I do not know my Facebook password. I do not know I think I know my bank password, but they're all saved on Chrome, and I don't have to remember them outright. So I can even make these ones more secure, because I know that if I need them, I can always go into Chrome or LastPass and get them physically. So it's better than that notebook or better than that Excel sheet. So we want to keep. Sorry, this just keeps our passwords secure. It keeps them safe. It keeps them from writing them down on a piece of paper and hiding them under your keyboard. So they're like for the pros, they're convenient for remembering. They're encrypted. I know with Chrome, if I were to steal your laptop and break into it, the Windows password is super easy to break through. I get around that, and boom, I'm on your desktop. And now I want to steal your Chrome passwords. Well, Chrome actually encrypts the bank of passwords that it keeps with your Windows passwords, and I can't get through to that unless I know your Windows passwords. Now I can get around your Windows passwords, but I still need that phrase in order to get into the Chrome passwords. So even if your laptop gets stolen or your computer gets stolen, these password keepers will keep the malicious users from getting into your personal information. And it autofills. It's great. How much do you like it when you log into a website or it asks you to type out the entire page of information and it's already all there? Your name, your address, your passwords, your whatever it needs, it's there. They're really convenient. Cons, it may not work on all sites. A lot of banking sites or a lot of government sites that aren't either up to date enough to utilize this technology or have security measures in place so that it doesn't autofill. It may not work on those things, but you can always log into the device. You can always log into the password keeper itself and get your password from there. Single point of failure. So, for example, LastPass has a master password. With that master password, you need that master password in order to get access to all the passwords behind it. And if you lose that master password, the process of getting back into your LastPass can be painful. You'd have to get a hold of LastPass. You have to work with them. There's ways around it. It's not the end of the world. It's just a major inconvenience if you forget that master password. And then password keepers such as LastPass and Dashlane also have pro features that if you want to pay for their extra security or you want to pay for their additional features, you can pay for those as well. However, the ones built into Chrome, the ones built into Safari are free and they do work. They do work well. So that has been passwords. I hope you guys reevaluate your passwords yourselves. Take a look at what you have for your passwords and see if they fall within these guidelines. See if there's something you can do to change your password to make it a bit stronger. One thing I've seen a lot on Facebook is you see those posts where it's like, list these 20 things about yourself. Don't do those. They're just a way to collect your password information. You just posted on Facebook about how your favorite color is blue, your first child is Steven, your high school graduation date was 1972. Like, there's a whole bunch of information that you're giving away freely, personal information that you may not think about, but potential hackers, potential malicious characters can use that information to guess your password. So we want to stay that as well. So we want to stay away from that as well. Next, we're going to talk about cloud backups and storage. I did not think about where my head was going to be during this time. Boom. Now I'm over here. So, with cloud backups and storage. See? My head is just not going to be in the right place at all. I have never used this software before. I think it's super cool, but the whole video streaming is completely new to me. So, what is cloud backup? In short, if it's not on your computers, it is in the cloud. And the cloud just stands for somebody else's computer. Any storage space that is kept off-site via the internet. if I have a cloud service that I host, which means it's in my back server room. It's on my hardware. To you guys, it is some magical cloud. For me, it is a very heavy computer with a lot of hard drives in it. The cloud just means somebody else's computer. So, for a lot of businesses, it's a paid service. For a lot of free for a lot of free users, it is a residential service or a consumer-based service. Those can be like such as Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive. Know that each time you get one of their free services through, say, Gmail or Dropbox free service, or OneDrive has a terabyte free for their home lineup. If you're not paying for something, you're usually the product. And the business class services usually have different features that you should be using. So just because it's cheaper to go another route, it may not always be best. The benefits to cloud storage is you can access it from anywhere, which is great. So you save all of your documents on your desktop to your OneDrive, which if you just click My Computer down at the bottom and go to your OneDrive, you can save everything there, and then you have access to it on your phone by downloading the OneDrive app. Or if you can upload anything up to Google Drive, you can access it anywhere on your phone. Same thing with Dropbox. So you always have your files with you, which is very convenient. Say you go to the bank and they need a certain document, or you go to your tax filer and they need another document. You can just send it to them right then and there because you have everything with you. And trust is needed with people who own the computer. So what that means is, while I'm not telling you guys not to trust me, you shouldn't keep your important information on my servers. I don't have redundant information. I am a single point of failure. I did not build my cloud service to host your kind of business data. I built my cloud server to host my tools and my documents so that I can better utilize them out in the field. Where you guys want your important documents, such as your tax information, your payroll information, your client list, stuff like that, is with these kind of providers, with Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, because they have fault tolerance, entire facilities built around their computers, security so no one can break into them. Those are services that you want and you want to pay for and you want to utilize. I built my stuff so that I could use it. While I'm not saying it's not trustworthy, for your data, it isn't as secure as you need it to be. So what makes a good backup? Different kind of backups. There's a few different kind of backups. There are just files and documents. This is just as good as popping a flash drive in your computer, copying your files over, and taking your flash drive out with you. There are system backups. So a lot of computers actually already have this built in, such as Windows Backup Manager and Mac has Time Machine, where the system copies all of your relevant information and packages it up into a backup package that you can either put on a hard drive and take with you, put on a network drive somewhere else, upload to any other kind of backup device. And they're great for if your system dies and crashes, you can bring in another computer and pop your image back up, and it will bring back most of your settings. It'll bring back most of your documents. IT fans aren't a fan of system backups. What we are a fan of, though, is image backups. This takes a snapshot. Imagine if you can take your computer where it's at right now and freeze it in time. You can take that file, it's called an image. You can then move that to your offsite backup. You can move that to a hard drive. You can move that to your NAS. And if this computer were ever lost, stolen, destroyed, you can restore that image backup to your machine, and it is like nothing ever happened. Image backups are fantastic. I use them all the time for my VMs. Me and my other technicians, we back up all of our computers to each other's sites so that if my house ever burns down, I can retrieve all of my information from his house. If his house ever burns down, he can retrieve it all from my house. You always want to have them in different locations. Backups need to be built with a purpose. With those 3 different types of backups that I just explained, each one has their pros and each one has their cons. Just the files and documents, it's super simple. You just, where do you want them? Move your files around and you're golden. System backups may take a little bit more time, but you can schedule them. So it's just put a bunch of effort in at once, set it and forget it. Don't have to worry about it until it happens again. Image backups takes a little bit more technical know-how. It's more for people like me to set up, more for enthusiasts, people with a bit more computer background. But what kind of backups do you need? Do you need just your files? A lot of people, they can re-download QuickBooks, but they really need their company file. So let's just back up their company file. We'll read down QuickBooks if we need it. Can you afford downtime? Downtime is a big problem with businesses. A half hour of downtime could mean a few $1,000s, or an entire day. You're looking at all the wages of the workers that they can't work right now because their computers are down. So an image backup would be best in those scenarios, because with an image backup on site, you can get those computers back up and running ASAP, or as fast as it takes to get that image from where it's at to on your computer, and you're up and running again. Is this mission critical data, and is it stored in more than one locations? So I am not a military man, but I've heard that this is a big saying in the military. It is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. You always want your very important data in multiple locations. So for example, if you could imagine, all my important documents are digital. I have scanned everything. I have the physical copies. They're hidden away in my cellar. But I occasionally still need them. If my house were ever burned down, it's hard to recover that kind of stuff. So I have them digital. And I keep these digital files in a few locations. I keep them on my home server. I keep them in the cloud on my Google account. And I keep them on my computer. So that it would take something catastrophic in order to lose anything. And then that's also my servers being replicated offsite to a trusted friend. So you always want to have your very important data is as many places as possible and as secure as possible. We talked about trust earlier, and how and how you want to trust where your information is going. My server replicates to my friend's house in an environment that he doesn't have access to. It's only me, so I trust my backups. A backup is not backed up until it has been verified. I've seen many people just click back up, have it run, it goes, and they walk away. And then when they need it, they're like, I have a backup, it's easy. They go to run it, and it doesn't work. You need to make sure your backups are working. Offsite backups in cloud space, I've actually already discussed this. It allows for data recovery in case of theft or fire. Backups can be accessed from anywhere. On location backups using local storage or a NAS or a server. So a Synology is a very cheap little device. I say cheap, it's still a few $100s, but a relatively cheap device, Synology, that you can, it's about the size of a toaster, and it just fits a few hard drives in. You pop it in your back corner in your office, plug it into your network, and now you have a device on your network where you can have all your storage in a secure, redundant manner, and you can access that from anywhere. It's like your own personal cloud storage. I offer these all the time to my clients for people who need their stuff backed up. When it's on location, it allows for quick retrieval of data. Yeah. Spoilers. Now you know we're going to talk about Wi-Fi next. It allows for quick backups of data. A lot of people don't realize that if you need to pull your backup from the cloud, it can take hours, depending on how much data you're doing. So let's say you copy your entire computer, which is 400 gigs. We're going to pull that down from Google. You have to download that 400 gig file, which may take hours, which may take days. If you have your computer back up to a local NAS on location, you're not relying on your internet speed, you can pull that 400 gigs down in 20 minutes. So your downtime is incredibly lessened with an on-site backup. You can also take quicker backups, quicker snapshots for those image backups I was talking about, to a backup every 30 minutes, so that if your accountant is sitting there working away on your QuickBooks and her computer decides to catch fire right then and there, she has only lost the last 25 minutes worth of work, and she can jump back on once we replace her computer, get her snapshot back up. She doesn't have to re-enter her entire day's worth of material, only the last 25 minutes or so. You can avoid paying those monthly costs to Google and OneDrive with the local NAS. And you're not dependent on your internet speeds, which means you don't have to pay for the bandwidth back and forth for uploading your information. So I hope that gives you guys a better idea on what backups are, how to better utilize them, and what would work best for you. If you have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. Like I said, I've been watching your chat this entire time. Griff has already been praising people about how I've been doing things. I appreciate that. We are going to move along ahead, and I am going to break everyone's hearts right here now. Wi-Fi isn't always the best choice. I know everyone loves Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a convenience. It can be slowed down by interference. It is incredibly easy to knock out a Wi-Fi signal. So many devices in our lives actually give off Wi-Fi, from our phones to printers, because printers need Wi-Fi now. Microwaves actually work on the same frequency as Wi-Fi, so they mess with it. Wi-Fi would actually rather bounce off a wall than go through a wall. So you want to take into account how your building is laid out, what doors are open, where, that kind of stuff. Infrastructure, wooden walls versus aluminum studs has an effect. Like, there are so many factors that go into Wi-Fi. It will never be as fast as a wired connection. It just never will. The standard wired connection on your computer that you're plugged into right now is most likely 1 gigabit, which is very fast compared to Wi-Fi's high speeds of 800 megabits on a very high-end Wi-Fi system, but most of the time you're averaging around 300 to 400 megabits, which is 0.3 or 0.4 gigabits, so less than half. With Wi-Fi, once your password is compromised, it requires everyone to reconnect. So let's say you have a disgruntled employee who takes off and they know your Wi-Fi password, and you want to change it. Well, now it's an inconvenience for everyone, because now everyone's got to re-enter that Wi-Fi password. You have to go enter it into all the TVs. You have to re-enter it into your printer. It's an inconvenience. Half duplex. This is a bit nerdy talk, but it's more to get you guys understanding how Wi-Fi really works. Only one device can talk at a time. So with a cable, both the computer and the router can be talking at the same time and handing off information. It makes things very quick, because they can both talk and listen at the same time. Whereas with Wi-Fi, you can only have one-way communication, and then it comes. It's even worse, the more devices you have, every device that talks can only talk one at a time to the router. Wi-Fi is a convenience. It's a great convenience, but it's not something you need to rely on. It is fantastic in specific use cases. So if you have multiple rotating agents or mobile devices like laptops or iPads, these are not static devices, and that's what Wi-Fi is for. It's not for static devices. If you have a computer at the far end of the office where a cable just cannot run to because you have such a brick wall that you can't run cable through, or really any other value like that, Wi-Fi can be used to get them up and running now. Guest Wi-Fi actually adds value to your customers because they want to watch their YouTube, they want to watch their Netflix. Guest Wi-Fi can be a great tool to help add value to your add value for your customers. When not to use Wi-Fi: if a device is stationary, such as POSs, printers, desktop computers, you should always make best efforts to make sure cables ran to these computers. It's going to improve reliability, it's going to improve the speed, and the maintenance is it's way down on it. Once you plug in a cable, it is very set and forget. With Wi-Fi, you're constantly worried about your signal strength. Is there interference? A rogue microwave on a skateboard just roamed by the office. Like, there's too much to worry about with Wi-Fi. And when reliability and speed are critical. So a lot of people right now are working from home, working with Zoom calls and working with other meeting apps where you need that reliability, you need that speed in order to keep your webcam up so people can hear you, so you can communicate properly with who you're doing business with. Don't do that over Wi-Fi. That is something that requires a hardwired connection. Network security. I'm going to go ahead and kind of blow past this one because I notice I am running very slow on time and I still got a lot of slideshow to go through. I didn't realize I'd be talking this much, and you guys haven't stopped me at all. Data segregation. Oh, this is also a lot of the more complicated stuff, so I don't expect you guys to realize this, but I want some of these terms to just stick in your head, stick around, so that maybe you can utilize this stuff. So with network security, if you give somebody physical access to your network, they have access to everything. Assume they can get anything. A lot of ways to mitigate this is stuff called VLANs, or virtual LANs, which is multiple networks running on the same hardware. This is high-end stuff. I don't expect you guys to do it yourselves, but I do want you to know that there are ways to protect yourself. There are ways to keep your data secure. Firewalls are really important, both from internal and external attackers. The firewalls, with the firewall rules and a proper firewall, you can, you can prevent a lot of outside intrusion into your network. Bandwidth monitoring can throttle your employees from going from certain sites. I have a customer that I have blocked all of YouTube, all of social media, because the owner saw that the customer was all his employees were spending way too much time on these social media sites and not actually getting work done. So throw on a blocker. Everyone hates the IT guy, they don't hate the boss. And with VPNs, which is very important now during this day and age, virtual private network. You can connect to your office as if your computer, you can connect to your office from home as if your computer was plugged into your office network, which is great if you have one of those Synologies that we talked about earlier, a NAS or a server on location at work that you want to access from home or you want to access from the road. VPNs are how to get that done. And with the proper external router, you can make that happen. Now about routers, there are good routers and there are bad routers. A good router are gonna be business class routers. So for example, there's Netgate, SonicWall, Cisco, PFSense. These are all different types of routers that I would recommend that you guys look into. They can be a little bit more on the high side. For example, this little guy here, this Netgate, is what I recommend to most of my clients because I love the software on it. It's running something called pfSense, which is an open source enterprise grade router. I have a lot of flexibility with it. It can do the VPNs, it can do the network trafficking, it can do ad blocking, that kind of stuff. A lot of it right out of the box. That little guy is about the size of a deck of cards, but cost $150. They are, but the security and peace of mind you get with it is absolutely worth it, which is foiled by the consumer grade routers. So you have your Linksys, you have your Netgear, D-Link, any residential router. You go to Walmart and you pick up a $25 router or a $50 router, and they say this is the best router you can get. You know, for example, this Netgear one here is, I think, $150. It is a great router to put in your home. It is not a great router for your home office. Sorry, for your office, or even for your home office. These routers are cheap and they will get things working, but they will not do it securely. These routers rely on manual updates, which no one ever does. If a security flaw is found in one, it can take weeks, months, even years to patch them out. And even when they are patched out, you yourself have to physically go and update them so they don't do it automatically. They're not good for business applications. So please spend a little bit of extra money, get yourself a business class router, have that peace of mind that your data, anything behind that router is going to be secure. Now we're going to talk about antivirus and phone security. Why do I need an antivirus? An antivirus runs a continuous scan on your machine for known threats. I highlight known because there is a problem with antivirus. It is not 100%. In fact, all security is best practice. It is a constant arms race between the people who do good and the people who do bad to get to you. Every time a virus is detected, it will your antivirus program will send that back to whoever the program is, whether it be Norton, AVG, Kaspersky. They will analyze that virus, learn who made it, learn how it works, get that proper information, and then send it as an update back to every one of its clients. So now every one of its clients now knows how to find this virus, how to detect it, and how to get rid of it. It's kind of like a mass inoculation or a mass vaccination. Constant arms race. Even Macs can be infected. Macs are not vulnerable. A lot of people think, I'll just get a Mac. They don't have viruses. They do. It's a lot harder to infect a Mac. There are definitely not as many ways to infect a Mac, but human stupidity knows no bounds. There are ways to get Macs infected, and a lot of them requires way more user intervention than they realize. Whereas with Windows, you look at it the wrong way, you may be opening yourself up to viruses. Macs require a little bit more clicks. There are free options, but they still there are free options, but they still need to make money, so they will constantly upsell you. I put a lot of free options on some of my residential clients, and they call me every other week. Hey, Avast is asking me, to upgrade, or Avast is asking me for money. I thought we were good. I'm like, you are good. Just click no, or just not now. Whatever you can do to get rid of the notification. You are protected. They want you to pay for their other services as well. The wrong antivirus can cause more problems than it solves. So, an antivirus is a very heavy program. Your computer is constantly running scans on computers, or running scans on your files. I always equate this when people ask me what antivirus I use. I actually don't use an antivirus, but I am very comfortable and familiar with how I am surfing the internet, that I can solve any problem that I come across, and I am prevented from landing in a lot of those traps that people fall to begin with. So when I say a heavy program, you may think of race cars. If you were driving a NASCAR or a Formula One car, you would definitely want a roll cage around you, because you're not experienced at driving those cars. You're not a professional at driving those cars, and if anything were to happen, you are really going to want that roll cage there to protect you. However, someone like me, while I am reckless, it is absolutely reckless, have an antivirus program, may opt to drive that car without its roll cage. I'm not as heavy. I can drive faster. I can make sharper turns. I get extra performance out of not having a roll cage. But if that ever comes across where I make a mistake, I am definitely going to regret that. I love this one. Antiviruses are like partners. It sounds like a good idea to have more than one, but they fight when they find out about each other. Antiviruses, they use a lot of the same resources. If both of the antiviruses are running a scan on the same file because you decide to open up that file, they will fight over who gets permission to run that file, and while they're running their little fight to see who wins, that file is free to go off and do what it needs to do. So be careful. A lot of factory computers come with Norton or Kaspersky built into them, and then client will come by and install their own software on it, and it will conflict. So you always want to make sure you only have one antivirus on your computer. There are free options that offer baseline protection, such as AVG, Avast. Those are the two main ones that I install. Clamware has one. I don't recommend Kaspersky. Trend Media, something like that, and Norton Antivirus. I hate Norton. They're too heavy. But AVG and Avast are very lightweight programs that don't hog up a bunch of your system resources while still providing free baseline protection from basic malware and viruses. You have a miracle in your pocket. It's your phone. These little devices are just as important today as your workstation or your car. Could you go a day without your phone? You use these all the time, and they have so much of your life on them that it is more equitable to a digital brain than an actual device. Your life is on your phone. If I have your phone, I can be you and no one would be of the wiser. Please take care of these. Treat these with as much respect as you can any other piece of technology in your life. Everything that I've gone over today also applies to your phone. The password security, the cloud backups, even Wi-Fi. Don't jump on public Wi-Fi unless you have a VPN on your phone. This is it's very important. Yeah. Most modern phones have built-in security. So, my Pixel 3 has a finger scanner. Use it. It is super easy to just unlock your phone. Yeah. Super easy to unlock your phone. And that fingerprint actually encrypts your entire phone. So if anyone were ever take your phone, they couldn't get your data without your fingerprint. Face ID. If you have an iPhone that has Face ID, use it. Even if it's just a simple 4-digit password to get into your phone, have one. I cannot stress how important it is just to have a basic, simple gate to get into your phone. iPhones and Google phones can also be affected by viruses. Only install apps from the App Store or from the Google Play Store. Don't install random APKs you find on websites. Don't follow extraneous links you find on other websites. Only install it from the App Store. You're most likely to lose or break your phone than your actual desktop computer. So, with built-in cloud features on your phone, you can sign in with Google or use the iPhone backup feature. So that if your phone is ever lost, stolen, or destroyed, the phone itself is just plastic. It's just glass. You can throw it and get rid of it. What's important is the information on it. If you ever lost lose, break, or get your phone stolen, you just get another phone, pop in your SIM card, sign into it, and everything automatically comes back. It's important to get those things set up now, because when you need them and they're not there, you're going to have a bad day. Be careful which Wi-Fi networks you connect to, as public networks such as Wi-Fi or Starbucks or McDonald's are very sketchy. Although, good luck finding one right now. So next, valuing IT. Please. This is the IT paradox. This is the bane of my existence. Everything is broken. Why am I paying you, George? Everything is working fine. Why am I paying you, George? IT is about maintenance. It's about best practice. You can brush your teeth every day and still need to go to the dentist. The dentist is there for a reason. He's there to help you. Just because you brush your teeth doesn't mean that you won't get cavities. Brushing your teeth, it's good practice. It's good maintenance. It'll make things last longer, so that when you do go to the dentist, you don't have to worry about too much of what he has to do. However, if you sit on that cavity for too long, a simple filling, which could have been a quick and done process in an hour, will now become a root canal. If you let your IT problems just sit and fester, they will eventually become problems that will cost me thousands of dollars and many, many hours to fix the problem, and uprooting your business to get it working. So the more we can do now in the maintenance side, the easier it's going to be on you later. But George, I'll just get my own IT guy. Well, I ran a whole bunch of stuff here for you guys. A lot of you guys aren't 60 people company, but maybe you are. I would love to get a 60 person company. They would be my favorite client. But if they want to hire just one IT guy, well, that's gonna. If they were to be my client, I would charge them, top of my head, $4,000 a month. It comes out to about $40,000 a year. They think they can hire another guy at that price. Well, the average salary for someone of my expertise is going to be around $53,000, $55,000, somewhere around there, $1,000 a year. You either have to get certified. They're going to have to make sure they know what they're doing. You're going to have to get them tools such as all the networking and crimping and scissors and cables, and I have got a bunch of fancy tools. They're really cool tools. The antivirus protection for your entire office. I get mass discounts on that stuff because I work with a massive computers, and I work with these vendors in order to get that running. Monitoring and management. I monitor your computers. I make sure they're healthy. You want to do the same thing for your computers? It's going to cost money to license that software. Ticketing and documentation. I take care of that myself, but you would have to get one for you. Then you have to build out the SLAs, or the service level agreements, policies and procedures. You're building your own MSP company at that point to make your own IT department. So for $48,000 a year, or $70,000 plus to hire one IT department, he's not going to be that great. You're going to rely on that one man. He's a single point of failure. What happens if he's on a vacation? Do you allow him to go on vacation? A lot of IT guys in my profession are just locked away in corporate building basements because they won't let him out. You don't have to worry about that if you outsource your IT department. Get my own IT guy continued. But let's bring it back to small business though, because a lot of you guys aren't that 60-person company. A lot of, let's say you only have 5 computers. Well, I'm going to charge around $300 for that. It would break down to have me on payroll as $1.875 per hour. And behind that, you get a whole IT team. You get experts who know what they're doing. You get preventative maintenance, antivirus on your computers, any question you need, ask if it pertains to technology, remote and on-site support. I'll come to you guys. I'll fix the problems for that on-site support, and disaster recovery, so that if in the event of a lost, stolen, destroyed computer, I would help you get back up on your feet, all for that $1,875 an hour, somewhere around there. Outsourcing IT is common. You already may be outsourcing your HR, your accounting, and your employment. Even the largest companies outsource their IT because it's better to have a team of people working for way less. And it leaves you to focus on growing your business. You don't have to worry about your computers. You don't have to worry about your employees going to malicious sites and going to Facebook and filling out those password surveys, because I monitor that kind of stuff. It's what I'm there for. It's to give you peace of mind for your business. So why am I telling all of you all this? Giving you all my trade secrets, telling you how to make passwords, giving you the secrets of Wi-Fi. Why am I doing this? Because I don't like root canals. I find it's easier to maintain a healthy system than to overhaul a bad one. If I have to overhaul a system, it can put a company upside down, which will just prevent them from making it happen even more. I don't want that to happen. I want you guys to be working as smooth as possible. I grew up with Smokey the Bear, Captain Planet, and G.I. Joe because I had to keep this in the slide. Only you can keep your machine safe, the power is yours, and knowledge is half the battle. I want you guys to be well informed. The better you are at maintaining your computers, the easier my job is. And if we really all want one thing, it's my job to be easier. I'm a lazy guy. That's why I got into IT, because I can make computers do things for me. And I love technology, and I want to see everyone take advantage of it. I love this future that we're in. I was born too late to explore the frontier, born too early to explore the galaxy, but I am a pioneer of the internet, and I think everyone else should be as well. Whether or not you utilize my services or anyone else's, your IT person or your company will appreciate it from the lessons I've shown you here today. Even if you guys don't have an IT department now, there's somebody in your office that you rely on when something goes wrong. There is that one person who messed up and let you know that they were smart at computers, and now they're the ones everyone goes to for the printer problems or for their password problems. And they can't focus on their job. They're an accountant. They didn't sign on to be an IT guy. And now they can't get their actual work done because they're too busy helping you with your passwords. That's what an IT department is supposed to be there for, to help you. No one would appreciate me better than that person in your office. And this will make just as much. Sorry, this is to make just as much value to them as you are. I don't know what I just read. This will make you just as much of a value to them as they are to you. To be fair, I don't remember why I wrote this. So, do we have any questions? That has been my presentation. I wanted to save the whole red shirt, why red shirt at the very end, so I wanted the meat of this presentation to be about you guys. I wanted it to be about you learning how to take care of yourselves. So I see, so we still have some viewers on. No one's typing in chat. It seems like you guys got it, or you're just not paying attention. We'll see which one it is. Thank you, Kim. Give it a few more moments before I go ahead and give my sign off. Just want to make sure anyone else doesn't have any other questions. If you guys have noticed my office, I've also this red and gray scheme I've had. I just love it. I've incorporated every part of my life. So. All right. Well, I want to thank the WSDBA for getting this message out there for me. I want to thank you guys for joining this stream and being a part of it. It's my first web stream, and I don't know, I may do it again. This was actually fun. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to contact me directly at george@redshirt.pro. If you want to give me a call, that's my number right there. If you want to create a ticket and start a problem, I would rather you send your technical issues to help@redshirt.pro to create a ticket. You can always visit us at redshirt.xyz. That's not .com, that's .xyz. To get any more information about us and be more than happy to help. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and good luck with everyone. Bye.